Welcome to Talkin Baseball, your number one labor dispute pod on the app. Let's do it. No head shaking from Trev. Serious.
No music.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Baseball. My name is Jimmy. Sitting next to me is Jake. Corner of the room, we got BBD. And in California, we have the one and only Trevor Plouffe, who just turned 34 years old.
That is correct.
How was the birthday? Anything good happen? Did the kids wake you up with pots and pans? Pans, even?
I had a good day, man. I really did. Obviously, there was some horrible baseball news on my birthday, but I was able to escape that world for a little bit. Went out to a nice dinner, had a nightcap afterwards.
Ooh.
All in all, it was a successful day. I even made it back home in time after my dinner, played a little online poker with my crew. Couldn't have asked for a better birthday.
Did you get any presents?
I did.
Nice. Anything good?
Pretty typical stuff that you get when you're a 34-year-old. You don't get like toys or necessarily anything cool anymore. I got some clothes, some shoes, and I think the most unique thing I got was a running belt, which I've been asking for quite some time.
Nice.
Interesting.
That's awesome. Jake, how was your non-birthday day?
Trevor, I want you to turn that frown upside down, although you and Tony Clark do share the same birthday. Happy birthday, Tone. How was your day? But yesterday was a great day for baseball. It's one step back before you take two steps forward. It's death before something is reborn. I think yesterday was the bottom. I somewhat sincerely think that because holy Toledo, huh? Not the ideal day. I'm doing okay. I kind of love this camera view of me.
You liked it last time we did it too.
But at the same time, I kind of look like Jim Carrey in the Ace Ventura montage when he gets sunburn and pimple on his face and gets autographs, because my face is pretty still red from going outside on Saturday. So I'm generally well. Highs and lows. Little food poisoning last night, back in the game.
Birthday, food poisoning. I got a huge pimple on my nose, Trev, that I've tried to pop prematurely and kind of just like scratched up now, and I got a Rudolph nose. It sucks. So it's a red nose pod. Jake's got a red nose. I got a red nose. We're about to punch BBD in the face, give him a red nose.
Oh, there's so many people I need to punch in the face right now.
Yeah, Trev's not happy. Bad. And I do think, Jake, that you're scared that there's going to be no baseball, and you're trying to spin zone yourself very hard.
I just think the players have won the war, and everyone's afraid to say that. We'll get into it. But yeah, I had a funny moment. I'm wearing my gray outfit, my grout fit today. I've got my baseball is fun shirt. I've got my I love baseball hat. I'm thinking there had to be one or two people that looked at me and is like, well, he's got to be feeling a lot of different emotions. And I just don't want to change my shirt to baseball was fun. You know?
Yeah. That'd be a good like TikTok though.
Always is.
Yeah.
Haven't seen a bad one yet.
There's a lot to talk about, Trev. There's a lot going on.
Where do we start?
A lot of bad blood. I guess we can start by just catching the audience up on what transpired, and then we can give our thoughts and tell them why it's transpiring. And what has transpired is, I don't even remember where we left off, but the players said, enough of the nonsense. Just tell us when, and we're ready to play. Very strategic move. We'll talk about that after I finish this. The players said this on Saturday and said you have 3 days, and we're counting today, Saturday, and we're counting Sunday. So you have till Monday to tell us when, where, how we're going to play. And the owners yesterday on Monday stalled and said, oh, we're running into more situations. We will only play if the players sign a document waiving any legal action that could take place. Now, what does that mean? You may be like, what the fuck does that mean? It's a very strategic move. The players pushed MLB and Manfred into a corner and just got him good. Like, got him real good. And the reason why is when they say tell us when and where, we're ready right now, there's like 70 days worth of games available. The league doesn't want that. They only want to play 50 because that's the least amount of money they can lose. So, and if they were to come out and be like, all right, good, 50-game season, here we go. Well, you chose 50 games when there's clearly enough space to play 70. You're operating in bad faith. The players would file a grievance right away. So the league said, we will only do this if you sign a waiver that you won't file a grievance, and basically admitted that they're operating in bad faith. Because why else would you be scared of the grievance if you're not, if you haven't been operating in bad faith, you would not be scared of the grievance. It wouldn't be on your mind. But they know that the players are going to file a grievance, and they know they're going to lose, and in the process going to have to open up their books, and they're so scared of that. So this was a stall tactic by Manfred. And as soon as they did it, Trevor Bauer, every reporter, everyone that's been following this closely called them out right away and was like, we know what you're doing. And once again, Manfred, the owners, and the league think everyone else in the world has rocks for brains and has never been part of a strategic strategy or negotiation in their lives, and think like, we're billionaires. They're not billionaires. They'll never pick up on this. And everyone's like, you're so transparent. It's very obvious what you're doing. So that was a rundown of what happened and my thoughts. I'll kick it to you, Trev, because I know you're very upset.
I am very upset about what's going on. And I want to say something that may come as a surprise to people. I kind of feel bad for Rob Manfred.
Okay.
In this situation. Not in the sense that he's making $20-something million a year for I don't know why. I guess when you're the face of the owners in a $10.7 billion industry, you deserved a little bit of coin there. But he is taking the brunt of the fallout from all this, and that's his job. Okay, yes. He's a puppet. Obviously, he's done a horrible job in things that he's wanted to implement. But all of this back and forth, these negotiation tactics, I really don't believe that this is Rob Manfred's wishes. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm completely wrong about that. But the guys behind him, the guys that employ Rob Manfred, we're starting to see a little bit more and more each day that they don't really care about the game of baseball. And you can hide it and just use Rob, but when you got guys coming out and saying stuff like the Cardinals owner did, and then you start having a little bit more information about the books coming out and exactly, what their revenue streams are, and the fact that there's been 6 to 8 different owners that have expressed out loud to different sources that they'd rather not play a season than give in. That just tells you that these guys are ruthless. And I got to say, I tweeted this out today. You got two options here, in my opinion, if you're the owners. Come out and say that publicly. The 6 to 8 of you that don't want to play, don't hide behind a media asset in your back pocket. Don't hide behind the commissioner. Come out and say it yourself. If you don't want to do that, guess what? Sell your team. If you own a baseball team, this is not like any other business where you just try to squeeze as much profit out as possible. That's not okay in this instance because of many reasons we've talked about on the pod before, specifically taxpayers funded stadiums. The fact that your local economy relies on you, all the tax breaks that you've got from owning a baseball team. You're able to hide a bunch of money, use the money from your franchise to do a bunch of different stuff. Look at this guy. He doesn't care. I'm going off. Hold on.
Teddy Plouffe making an appearance.
The only guy that can make me happy right now just showed up.
The Lizard King himself.
He wants to know where my iPad is. It's under the
It's a good question.
Go. I don't know.
You were running hot.
I needed that.
You did need that. You were saying if they own a team, you should either sell it or baseball.
It's not a normal business.
Take your shirt off.
You have to take into account the city and the community, okay? Because you are benefiting from the city and the community, taxpayer dollars, like I mentioned before. This isn't cut and dry. So if you don't like baseball and you don't care about the growth of the game or the future of the game, sell the team. Okay, there are plenty of people out there with money to buy teams that want to buy teams. So just do it. Get out of the game. You are ruining the game. You are ruining the business that you're in. So cash out. Cash out. Get your bill. Your $1-2 billion. Some cases $3-4 billion. Take the profit
Sell the
on
team
that.
to A-Rod.
Get out.
A-Rod's
That's
looking
where I'm
to
at
buy.
with this right now. I'm so sick of it that I want these guys out of the game.
Yeah, and a couple things. First, in whatever little defense we can give to Rob Manfred, trying to be a switch hitting pod.
I'm back. I don't want any. Manfred's out too. I don't feel bad for him. I'm sorry.
Oh, sure, and that's fine. But think about the two statements: the 100% unequivocally will play baseball, and then he comes out a week later and says, "I don't know if we're going to play baseball."
Oh my God.
Do you think Rob Manfred wants to say that? No. Those are the guys behind him saying, "Have fun out there, little guy. Knock yourself out." And I think what's important in this game of mouse, and part of the reason I am being gung-ho, is the owners really only have one card to play, and that's COVID, which is the initial card, and we'll see how long they can drag that out. And we saw them try to throw it out there. But the other sports are already proving that they have plans to play. I mean, we have a soccer tournament coming up. I know lacrosse, and then, supposedly NBA has a plan. They're kind of trying to back out of that. But other sports are going to come back, where, circling back to Jimmy and the grievance, and I want to circle back to even earlier than that. We knew this was going to be a shit show. The first time, I think it was the Passan article came out, and there was that little bit of verbiage that was talking about if there was going to be fans in the stands. And we talked, there was 4 arbiters that got reached out to. 2 of them said it would hold up. 1 of them said it wouldn't. The other said he had no idea. Appreciate that guy. And then we knew that this.
Why did you even ask me?
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm actually not an arbiter anymore. And so we started going back and forth on this dance. And I think one of the pivotal spots we landed on was, the owners. Nobody started in good faith. And, you could, if you want to start with the owners, if you want to start with the players, fine. We were never getting 112 games. That is what it is. The owners trying to crack the union's, holy grail of them not accepting full pay. None of that was in good faith. And the owners have just been on a slip and slide of between saying that it's not profitable business, and then the playoff deal comes out. And just, they've done a litany of extremely dumb stuff while treating the public as dumb. And now we got to this point where everyone found out that Manfred had this 48-game season button that he could basically push at any time, right? And so, we kind of, everyone got wind that there would be baseball in some form at this abbreviated sprint season. Sure, let's see what it looks like. And then about a week later, Bobby Manfred comes out during draft night and says, unequivocally, there will be baseball this season. Rob Manfred, the hero of all heroes. Guess what? That was actually what the players were waiting for, because now they said, well, let's roll it out there. And then you start going into those key little lines again, and the key lines say, in good faith, which both sides, not shattered, but the owners for sure, when they come out saying, hey, if we do this, let's just agree it was in good faith. And it's like, okay, that's classic not good faith line. And then I think there's that one line in there that says something about trying to play the most games possible. And the players, with this quick little, tell us when and where, have unified the whole players union. I think it's hilarious that, and we're going to talk about the slogan a little bit, but it's such a baseball guy slogan that they've just stumbled into, the when and where. And now they're asking when to play. They're ready. They've said it. And if the owners are negotiating in good faith, that contract clearly says try to play the most games possible, and they are not trying to do that. So I think the players have won the war. I think Manfred, he's obviously fallen on multiple swords, that I think it's getting close to the point where the owners might even turn their backs on him and just This thing has gotten so ugly and so bad in the media, and there has been such an outcry. Look at all the media people. Buster Olney, Passan's turn, Carl Ravitch. All of the short kings of baseball media have now turned on the sport, where if I'm the owners, I'm saying, hey, there's only one way out of this. We throw Manfred to the wolves and move on, and that's what I think is going to happen.
I mean, I love that. It was great. But the optics, we know they don't care about. That's been proven time and time again.
I also think that the owners, like you're right, the players have won. They trapped them into a corner. They've beat them. The owners aren't going to let them beat them. The owners
the owners
are going to take their ball and go home and say it was too dark to play.
I think they're going to let him beat Rob Manfred. I don't think the owners are going to say they got beat.
And then what? And bring someone else in that does what?
Yeah, just another puppet to get abused until they bring in another guy.
I'm like 95% there's no baseball.
It's really looking that way right now. And the thing that, we're always saying the owners are 2 steps ahead. They're so smart. They're so this. They're so that. Not this week. Not last week.
No,
they got.
They've been terrible.
Who reported on it? Someone reported on it. Well, I forget who. They said that a lot of the owners were shocked that their employees stood up to them. Which reporter spoke with them? I don't know. So those reports Rosenthal just said there's 8 owners out there that actively are trying to not get a season to be played. 8. I mean, 8 strong no's. They're going to persuade some more people. And then you're looking at really close decision. I don't know. At this point, I'd be shocked if we get, because it's just going to be a grievance, will be filed. That'll take months, years. And in that process, the sport just gets damaged even more. The owners get damaged even more. There's no win for the owners besides blaming Corona and health and just getting out of Dodge. That's the biggest win for the owners right now.
And think about that. Think about what it takes for you to use a global pandemic as a bargaining chip in the business that has treated you so well, that has multiplied your net worth twofold at least, each of these guys. Sometimes many more times than that. This is the kind of people we're dealing with. And you said the when and where is a baseball guy thing, and it was, do I think it was a little bit tactical? Sure, but the players
a lot of
mean
it
that.
Tactical.
But they mean that, okay?
It was cool to see them just kind of flex their unity on everyone again. They did it earlier, and I think the league was like, oh, fuck, these dudes are really unified and not going to bend. And then in the middle of this, having every single player, Trout, Cole, every player tweet out the same thing at the same time, tell us when and where we're ready to play. It's just another flex, we're pretty strong right now. So
very strong. I've said that from the beginning since I've been on this pod. This is a very strong union. Guys know the history of the union. They understand what guys gave up before them. They understand what it means for guys after them. It is a very, very strong union, which says a lot because we come from everywhere across the globe. And we have different rules to enter the game. You have Japanese guys getting posted. You have Latin American guys as free agents. Pretty much everybody else as free agents besides Puerto Rico, Canada, and the U.S. They get drafted. You come from all walks of life, but you understand one thing. You got to respect the people that have come before you and the people that are coming after you, and that's what we're really seeing here. And these guys, they are baseball players. This is what they've trained to do their entire life. And I think what people don't realize is there's such a small window for baseball players to make their money. Okay? And yeah, you can point to a lot of guys that make a ton of money. The Trouts, the Coles. That doesn't represent the league. Okay? Most guys have, I don't know what the average career span is. It's 3 years, 3.5 years.
I think it's around 3 years, yeah.
Okay, if you think about that, let's just break it all down right now. 3 years, league minimum, you're going to make $1.5 million. Okay? To get to the league, you probably spent 4 to 5 years in the minor leagues, and then 7 years total to make that $1.5 million, whatever the math is on that, $200,000 a year for 7 years. Okay, it's a lot of money, but then you're done. That's it.
All right, I have it here, but
so you better believe that every player is going to be trying to protect that window because you sacrifice a ton, and the stats are against you astronomically to even make it that far. They're going to protect that window at all costs.
The average salary is $4.36 million, but I gotta believe there's a lot. There's a lot of really, really big ones bringing it down. Like if you, what's the other math term? The median, whatever it is.
Mean, median, and mode.
Yes, the one that pertains to this. But even if we did that,
the number that came out earlier was that 65% of the league makes less than $1 million. So,
and the average is like 3 to 5 years average length.
I listened to a Passon, a friend of the pod, a little interview with Rich Eisen. And basically, and I thought this summed it up well, you know, the league has been, and I'd say the league, MLB has, you know, seen record revenues year after year after year over the last decade. And they've won in the CBA 5 or 6 years ago. And they've just taken piece by piece, small pieces from the players. And they've done things to the players that seem small on an individual basis, like service time manipulation, that add up over time. And now we're seeing this. Players are just like, no, you're not going to take this away from us as well. We're going to stand strong. We see what's going on here. We see that as your revenues have doubled, tripled, our salaries have gone down. All your analytics have basically taken away any mid-range player. It's superstar or league minimum player. And guys are, I mean, that's just not going to stand. So you're seeing the players unified now. I'm scared for this season, and I'm really scared for after next season as well. It's going to be, if you think we're a labor dispute pod now, my goodness. And I am sick of it. Sick of it.
Isn't it nuts how all the reporters, everyone's trying to toe the line, and we tried to share both sides as best we could along the way. But at this point, you got Buster Only going in on the league. You got Kenny Rosenthal, Mr. Nice Guy Bowtie, going in on Manfred, which is a representation of the league. Has Kirkjian got involved yet?
If Tim goes in, we're all lost. That just means the simulation broke and we all died.
Yeah, if Kirkjian gets mad,
it's over.
Turn out the lights.
It's
That's probably what MLB's got going for them the most. I don't even know if he has or not. I'm going to check this out.
Timmy, no, he's been just lighthearted with his baseball content. He's the best. I don't think he's left his little room where he records his videos. It's there.
Dude, the full basketball rack is so funny.
He's hilarious.
I'll ask you guys this question. What has changed your perspective on the 48-game Commissioner Manfred smash the button and play?
The grievance.
It's the grievance.
Well, they'd get a grievance anyways, no?
No, not if they claim Corona. Then there's no grievance.
Well, that
is their out is if they
that's
claim
what I'm saying.
that it's
that's
not,
what they're going to do.
That's
right.
I believe
but
that is
the other leagues.
play.
The other leagues are going to play, and the union would still file a grievance.
But it's a little difficult. Like the other teams have bubbles and just playoffs, and I don't know if the other teams are even going to play anymore.
Here's their options right now. That this is what MLB can do. These are what they can do, and one of these options they're going to do. One, they're going to, which is not going to happen, I don't think. Let's pray for number one. Number one is they come back and they realize that the public outlash has been horrible, and they say, you know what? Let's just take it on the chin here, guys. 72 games, full prorated. Let's go.
I think they could drag even more than that. I think they could.
Well, that's number two.
We'll do. Hey, we need a week or two to report. You guys are going to need 3, maybe 4 weeks of spring training to get healthy, And then, we want to maybe leave a buffer week just to make sure, the COVID hasn't spread or anything. So they can still buy themselves a month and back into that September 27th.
That's the number
date.
2 option is that what they're doing now is another stall tactic. Obviously it's a very transparent stall tactic, but they could just be saying, hey, we're trying to make sure the health is right. And 2 weeks from now, they'll say, okay, it's right, 60 games. Third is that they blame the virus and just shut the whole thing down. The implement a 48-game season right now is off the table. 100% off the table.
I think if we had any owner, any front office person on, they wouldn't budge at all that they've been that they've been pushed into a corner, that they've been transparent, that they're negotiating in bad faith. I think they would tell you the players are greedy. I don't think that they think, they haven't succumbed. Like you said, they might be like, all right, we got to take this on the chin. I don't think that they will ever accept it. What has shown us? What has shown us that they would be, just a new leaf and be like, you know what, we were wrong. You guys are right. Let's play 70 games.
Tim Kirk has to come in.
Tim Kirk, 0.0 chance. Maybe there's a 10% chance they do the stall tactic and then offer the 50 games, and then the players say, okay, we'll do it, but we're following the grievance still. Maybe, but maybe not even 10% for that in my brain. I don't see a way that we get baseball played.
You're dark. You're out.
Dark.
Why would the owners do it? I mean, they have been so
They've got
stubborn.
TV contracts and other deals that they still have to fulfill.
They want a postseason.
There's still ancillary stuff they have to deal with if there's no season, money-wise, that still doesn't break well for them. They want to have a playoffs. Like
they want the postseason.
Trevor, you were just going there. They want a postseason.
Yeah, but not eight of them.
I think that 48-game button is still there. I mean, hey, man, if it's 8, that still means there's, 22 that want something?
Or are indifferent.
Math pod.
We don't know if there's 8 that are heavily for. We just know that there are 8 that are against.
Right. 6 to 8. And I just don't know. I think that press go in case of emergency button is there. There'd still be a very profitable playoffs. And like Trevor's saying, with the tight union, if he hits that button, they're going to play. They filed a grievance and play, and dirty stuff will still be aired in the media, but the union is tight and they will play. I guess the only question, and it's like, let's say this was real. Let's say it's us 3. We're with Tony Clark. He's brought us in. He's heard how all 3 of us are commissioners in our own right. Go check out the JOMBOY Media Store. Get your shirts today. And we go in with the owners, and we meet with the owners committee that's been doing all this. We also have Scherzer with us, just kind of like intimidation.
Oh, I'm scared.
Mad Max.
We're all scared then.
And let's say, hey, everyone, there's no mics in here, no phones. Like, what's in this room is in this room. Trevor, what if the owner said, here's the deal. We want to throw Manfred onto the bus. We want to get this solved. This turned into a mess. Here's 75 games, full pro rata, but you guys cannot file the grievance. Is there any way at this point the union would not file a grievance?
Yeah, if they came up and tried,
if they really did it,
if they came up and said 75 games right now, full prorated,
There's no way that happens.
I don't believe that's going to happen. But I think if they did that, then there wouldn't be a grievance filed about them not trying to play as many games as possible. Even though that's clearly the case, but like if they did that and there was like that olive branch reached out, I think that would solve it. I just don't see that happening. And if it did happen, I would be shocked.
Right.
And I would be happy.
Could the players bring that to the negotiating table? Because clearly it's now on the table and the owners have fear of it.
I don't.
The players should keep them in the corner.
Yeah. This is like
don't help them out of the corner.
Right, but they could just drag their feet even more. They could just like not respond.
If they continue to drag their feet, then that is where like they'll say, okay, yeah, now we can play 55 games.
Right.
And there's still an option for a grievance there because they've dragged their feet for months now. Like, here's my question. the whole health thing that they conveniently said, hey, we have some players that have tested positive for COVID. Like, that means anything for the season.
That was really fucked. Jake kind of just briefly touched on that. In the midst of this, because they're prepping, the MLB is prepping to use COVID as an excuse, and it rightfully may be an excuse. Maybe sports shouldn't be played, but there are a lot of dialogue and agreements. They were trying to play baseball.
The MLB offered to play 81 games at 75%,
yes,
so they weren't scared about COVID then.
Yes. But they're prepping for that excuse. Maybe they don't 100% want to use it yet, but that is their one out. No grievance, no season, out. And they leaked that there has been positive baseball players that tested for COVID. Obviously, how many people have tested for COVID? That is such bullshit.
It's horrible. It doesn't make any sense. That's just, again, that's kind of how these negotiations have gone. Just like a weird, I don't even know. I don't even know what to call it's not even a negotiation what's going on right now.
No,
is there a word for what's happening?
It's just passing dog shit back and forth.
But this has been a long time coming. I think that people are starting to realize that now. This didn't happen overnight. This isn't just because there's no season this year. This isn't just because there's a pandemic going on. This has been quietly, or maybe not so quietly, brewing over the last 5-6 years. As we've seen, I think this is really important for people to realize, like, as analytics have come in, that has really divided front office from player. Because I don't want to speak for everybody, but a lot of the front office analytically driven people are newer in the game. They don't necessarily care about the game. They care about numbers. Winning, which is good. In a lot of assets or facets, analytics has been good for the game. Player development, it's helped a ton. But they've also used analytics to suppress salaries. They run these organizations now strictly by numbers. Players they're not people anymore. They're just strictly numbers, and they'll operate trying to manipulate the system in their favor any way they can. So it's created this wedge in between the players and front offices where we've talked about they've had to create titles for people to be liaisons between the front office and players because there's just no feel.
Quality control coach.
We need Sam Fold to come speak.
Sam Fold.
I almost want to shine the Sam Fold bat signal and be like, Sam, can you fix the game of baseball for us? If Sam Fold and Stephen Vogt came out and made a joint statement together, I think we could fix this all in a day. Those are my guys.
Do you like all the players tweeting? Like, is there a part of you that's like, this is corny?
I honestly think that's the way they feel. I'm just speaking from my perspective. That's all I did my entire life was play baseball to make it, to try to do this. And now you got to feel like it's being ripped away from you for really no reason. Or at least a bad reason.
I had a funny visual in my head because Gary Sanchez just tweeted it. He said, "We are ready to get back on the field. Tell us when and where." And I can't picture Gary doing that. I feel like he was on the phone with like Judge or Severino or someone was like, "So what do I type?" Okay, can I send this? This is what I send.
So
and then
I think
hitting send on it.
I think that's what you're missing in the corny part because I understand what you're saying. A bunch of guys going on Twitter and saying when and where. Yes, there's a corny side to that. But I think it's funny that it has to be so basic. And Trevor, I don't want this to be a shot at the bow at pro baseball players, but from ages, a lot of these guys from ages 18 to wherever they are now, they've been kind of told what to do on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. And I think the when and where is so basic and straightforward that it's been beautiful. It's been perfect.
I also think it's a legal thing. Like if they go to a grievance, they can be like, look how they all wanted to play. Just documenting it. I wouldn't be surprised if the MLB drags this for another week that we get these like every 2 days. Send out another wave of when and where.
I've been proud of the way players have handled this. We've had a few instances where maybe some guys came out and said some things they shouldn't have said, or at least like were taken out of context, or maybe they
Just the timing. Snell was the only one that really took the cheese. Snell was the only one that really took the cheese.
Since that day, I think the message has been much more, for lack of a better term, unionized. And I think that the right guys are speaking out. A friend of the pod, Sean Doolittle, responded to a tweet about the 8 owners who didn't want to play baseball this season. He said, well, we have 1,200 players here that want to play baseball. So when and where? Like, it's not phony. Is it a tactic? Sure, but they really mean it too.
Yeah. These
guys are sick of this shit. All they want to do is go play. They want to get paid for the games they play, which doesn't sound so stupid to me. I think what still needs to be said, and I can't believe this long into these negotiations, needs to be explained, but I think it does. Players have already taken a pay cut. Okay, Rob Manfred took a 35% pay cut for this year. Awesome, good job, Rob. Sweet. Players have already taken a pay cut, depending on the amount of games they play. If we played 81, which we're not going to get, that's already 50% of the pay that they've negotiated gone. People aren't understanding when the owner's like, we just want 20% more. That's on top of the already 50% or whatever prorated pay cut they've already taken. So this isn't like the players being like, no, we want to get paid for games we don't play or haven't played. That's not the case. And I can't believe I have to say this, but I see it on Twitter all the time. People are like, they need to take pay cuts. They're not playing right now. Well, it's like they already did. They're not getting paid right now at all. There was a 2-month window where they got X amount of cash split between the teams. That ended in May. That's been gone. They're not expected to get paid for anything except for the games they play. That is it. And I don't know who needs to hear that, but there it is. I mean,
yeah, full prorated is the compromise.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's man, I don't even know where to go anymore with all this. I'm so sick of it.
Do you want to talk about the 2 non-drafted free agents the Orioles just signed?
Not really.
Okay, me
Unless
neither.
there's some special story. I don't.
No.
Because that's gonna piss me off too, Jim. That's gonna piss me off. Yeah. The way they did the draft. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing to the game of baseball?
I have a question.
Jake has a question.
Something I've been wondering.
Jakey questions. Here he goes. He's going to ask it.
Is Tony Clark doing a good job? B, is Tony Clark doing the same job and he's just being compared to Rob Manfred, so now he looks a lot better? Or C, it's tall and skinny. 6'8", 200, I think he was listed at.
Trev kind of said this. A while ago. That Trev said, this is the most leverage the Union has ever had to get a win against the league. And the only scary part was you have this deadly virus that's kind of hanging over everyone, and no one wants to hear about money issues between players and owners. And you said that, Trev, and we were like, yeah, it's very touchy, and you can't hard sell it and all that. But I don't know how much I'm applauding Tony Clark or not, because the owners fucked themselves more than that. But they did put him in a corner. The unification has been great. I don't know the behind the scenes. All I know is the Union's handling this well.
I can say from experience with Tony, I was there in the room when he got voted in.
Did you vote for him?
I did.
Wow.
It was unanimous. And having an ex-player be the head of your union hasn't worked out for basically any other sport. So that was the thing that we were a little skeptical about. But he'd been around Michael Weiner and learned and was a great speaker and a unifier. And I think that's what he's done well, is when that is his name, BBD. I see you laughing at that. How old are you? That's the guy's name.
It got him, and then it got me, and then it was kind of going around the room.
My wiener is what it sounded like.
That guy was incredible, and if you ever listen to him speak, you'd be like, this is the guy. Okay? So what Tony has done well, though, as a union head, is he's kept everybody unified. When you have a meeting with the Players Association, he draws you in. He has a good voice. He's a speaker. And every time he left the room, whether or not you agreed with everything he said or thought that, the meeting wasn't as good as you wanted it to be, you felt unified with your fellow players. And I think, this sounds stupid, but he can speak Spanish. He speaks English, obviously. He's able to unify everybody. And like I said at the beginning of this pod, we come from everywhere in baseball. It's very hard to do that. And he's been able to do it. I think that has a lot to do with player reps as well. But I've said this from the beginning. Players are going to stand together through all this. That's just what we've been taught since day one. It's what we believe in. And to be able to continue that through something like this, I think that means to me that he's done a good job. Were there things that we all wanted him to do differently?
Well,
yes.
the last CBA
I'll say one
was
right.
the last CBA still was terrible.
I don't believe that's all on Tony. It's almost like a Manfred thing there. He's not a legal guy. Contract negotiation is not his specialty. So
he
has
brought
to
in a
surround
special.
himself. He has to surround himself with people who are going to do a better job this next CBA, 100%.
What's this guy's name that's been doing it right now? Bruce
Meyer.
Bruce Meyer.
So, and he's
Oscar Meyer Wiener.
Yeah, stop with that.
Bruce Maine's been a long-time listener of ours. Thanks, Bruce.
Yeah, what's up, Bruce? Bruce listens to everything.
So I think that, like I said, I think that this is a very difficult time to keep players on the same page, and he's been able to do that. And now you're seeing that has turned into a huge win with this slogan. I will say, I was about to say before you interrupted me very rudely, Jim, now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. My one critique on Tony, and I'm sure he knows this, the statement after statement after statement, let the owners let Manfred put out dumb statements and just let them sit there.
Yeah.
Because everybody realizes that how stupid they are. My one critique would be no more statements.
My only counter on that goes back to the baseball player imagination and skill set a little bit, that I think Tony has to put that out there so if guys are looking for something to do with the when and where, they just retweet that. So I think that's literally the only reason.
Look, he's 4 or 5 months ago, if you would have asked me the same question, I would have had a different answer. I think that's
okay.
I think that, and I respect Tony as a person, and I believe he's a good guy. I loved hanging with him, talking to him. I did a lot of stuff with the Players Association as a player. But I think when we look back on this particular quarrel, we'll say he did a good job. Now, come 2021, we'll see.
Do you think that we should go find every MLB player that didn't tweet when and where and shame them? This guy doesn't want to play.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. If Mike Trout says it, it's like Patrick Beverly came out and was like, if LeBron James says we're playing, we playing.
Yeah.
I love that. And now it's like, if Mike Trout and Max Scherzer and Garrett Cole want to play,
Derek Jeter,
we're playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's an Derek.
That's a good question. Okay.
Where's Derek?
What's Derek doing? Derek, you're a player.
Derek's kind of man. He's kind of Manfred of the Marlins.
Okay. Speak out,
man. He just owns a piece of the Marlins, but he is the public face of
like Magic Johnson when he was with the Dodgers. Totally get that. But be a liaison then. Try for the good of the game, you have to realize.
Oh, that'd be so un-Jeter-like. Jeter steps away from anything.
But he'd be the king.
I don't want to use the C word. Don't make me use the C word right now on your guy.
Carpet.
It starts with COW.
Crow's nest.
Cowardice.
Why? Why step away? Everybody else is speaking up.
He kind of is technically an owner, right?
He's an owner.
He's kind of an owner.
Bridge the gap, dude. For the good of the game. For your pocketbook.
Speaking of the Marlins, I love this tweet by Patrick Saunders. Patrick Saunders quoted agent Joe Wolf. The Marlins played without fans for 15 years, yet still managed to give a player the biggest contract in sports history and then sold the team for $1 billion profit with 5 competing buyers.
Dude, that guy, Loria,
Yeah.
what
that guy.
an evil genius he is.
Yeah.
Pay for my stadium. Oh, I need stars? Okay. Here you go, Giancarlo. Here's a back loaded, massive contract. Oh, yeah. By the way, we have a TV deal coming in. Do you see the star I just signed for $300 million? Okay, pay up. Oh, you paid me for my deal? It's good now? Hey, who wants to buy my team? We got a brand new stadium, a superstar, and a TV deal. Come pay me $1 billion for it. Do we have fans? No, who cares?
Yeah,
They didn't care about fans at the time. Now they really care about those fans, don't they?
Flipping houses. He just watches those shows a lot, and he figured it out.
That guy, wow.
Some new paint.
They're
Nice
smart.
new-
I'll never say the owners aren't smart.
Did you see that video of Garrett Cole throwing a bullpen? Trev?
I did. I mean, everybody
Impressive
shared
stuff, right? Impressive stuff. Just wish more people liked baseball. How does this end, Trevor Plouffe? I know Jim's gone dark on us.
Call me an idiot. I still think they play.
I'm with you.
I don't know what
50
that
games?
means. I don't know what that means.
I think the owners come out with some like in 4 weeks they're like, here it is, everyone, we're doing 57 games, and everyone's like, this is such too little too late, and then we'll come to grips with the season, we'll watch it, we'll have some fun, and then at the end of the playoffs we'll be right back in the same fucking seat talking about labor negotiations. That's where I'm at. I think we're gonna have a Groundhog's Day.
I think they don't care about the fans' opinion. That's what
If-
I know that.
Which is good for the sport.
I know that they don't care about what the fans think.
I get that. There's
So-
a lot of dumb fans out there. I'm not the biggest fan of democracy.
But listen. But listen,
Whoa.
they're going to do whatever it takes to not have a grievance filed. That is the only thing they care about now is no grievance. Because they do not want to open the books up, dude. That would be detrimental to them.
I
People
think
will
I know
be
what's
like,
gonna
holy
happen.
crap, that's how much money you make? That's how much money you keep? Those are the tax loops that you guys have? Holy shit.
Yeah.
They don't want that to happen.
What about this plan, Trev? What if Manfred gets a meeting together with all the guys we're talking about? Cole, Trout, Scherzer, all the biggest names and the biggest stars. Closed door meeting in a hotel conference room somewhere. And before the meeting starts, Manfred gives himself COVID and then sneezes and coughs on everyone.
He
What
went
am I
dark.
supposed to say to that?
He went dark early.
I mean, it's a strategy.
That's an option for me. Is they will use COVID to get out of a season, even though they'll lose hundreds of millions of dollars. Like that's when they'll actually really lose money, is if there is no season whatsoever. But there is a part of me that believes they'll do that to avoid opening up the books, which is insane. That tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, I still believe they get a season done. I still believe somehow the owners can flip this and become the good guys.
Your tweet.
But it's going to take them saying, we want 70, we'll give you guys 70 to 75 games, full prorated. And that has to happen.
That ain't
ASAP.
happening.
It's either that or they don't play any season.
I want to direct my questions at Jimmy, but they're a little too positive. Is there any chance for the hero moment I've been talking about? Is there any chance that there's Dayton Moore, who had his kind of pro player quote, and he's got an army of like 12 owners that want to get this done, that are going to come in the room and say, hey, let's just fucking do this because, baseball is the reason why our value has gone up tenfold?
Is Dayton Moore an owner?
What is he? Is he a GM or
He's
an
a
owner?
GM.
He's the GM.
GM or a president. He's not. He has. I mean, they don't care.
He
what
was
has to
something
say.
good. I thought
He's a great
dig it up.
GM. I mean, I'm not saying take anything away from him, but I don't think
Handsome.
he has any say in this. So, But if
Maybe
you're
I'm thinking
saying,
of the Dayton
are there
Flyers.
other owners who want to play baseball that could come and step in and say, we're going to put our foot down. Let's go. Let's get baseball back to the people. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe the Polads will.
Bullets.
Do it.
Somebody's got to do it.
How about that?
I have an inside source telling me the Steinbrenners have been sending texts every day to every owner. Let's just fucking play. You're scared of
Yeah.
us, you pussies? You're scared of us? Hal Steinbrenner just texting
Hoorah.
every owner.
Hoorah.
Oh, too scared to play the Yankees, you little bitches.
I do want to say I was watching that Cole bullpen video. Stuff looked a little flat.
Okay.
You didn't even know what pitch he was
he
throwing.
in the book?
He was throwing a flat pitch, Trev.
Cole's not in the book.
He opens every bullpen
I
up
don't-
with
I never
shitty
faced him.
pitches just to
Somehow
improve.
I missed him.
Did you ever face Scherzer?
Goodness.
I didn't look this up.
Don't do that.
No,
Scherzer owned him.
he did. I genuinely didn't know.
He owned me.
We've talked about
I
that.
had a shower Jake moment where I think if Max Scherzer was on the mound and he did his you fucking bitch motherfucker,
He wouldn't do
I'm
that
out
to
of the
me.
box. I'm out
He
of the
wouldn't
box.
do that to me. He respected. me
What you
too much.
say, Max?
It'd be a good
I mean, if
Chappelle
you really
Show
want,
skit.
this is the stuff I want to be talking
Dude,
about.
I'm
so now
glad
I'm happy.
he owned you, Trevor.
Now I'm happy. Jake Peavy was the funniest
Here we
guy on the
go.
mound with that stuff. Labor dispute. See you later.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some fun stuff. Jake
Like
Peavy,
angry?
Jake Peavy would be on the mound, but like, I don't think he like actually would cuss.
Sure.
But he'd be like, he'd say stuff like, "Gosh darn it, Jake, just don't do it." Like just really get, like, but loud and just like mad. That's how he pitched, and he'd be at the box, like, "What is going on right now?" Like he doesn't even see me in the box.
Yeah.
Like that's what you think about those pitchers. Like he doesn't even know there's a hitter. All he's trying to do is just throw that ball the best he can and wants to get me out, and he's gonna be pissed if he doesn't. Scherzer's. I love like that whole like video of him doing that is hilarious.
It's amazing. It's straight out of a movie.
Let me ask you guys something.
You wouldn't believe it in a movie.
Let me ask you guys something.
Trevor's asking us something.
Is this the best young collection of talent? Or
Trev, did you
collection
not
of
see my
young
tweet?
talent?
Jimmy's got a stat. Jimmy's got a stat.
You did? I didn't see a tweet.
Yes,
Jimmy's
it's
got a
the
stat.
2019 had it's a clanky stat. But 2000 so first I did what war is like an all-star season. You know, and
Spanish
it's
American.
4 to 5. Yeah.
Four.
Yeah.
4. So I did it at 4, Trev. And then I did most seasons with players under 23 years old that accrued 4 wins above replacement. It was 2019. And all the like other places, you know, like second place, were all within the last 10 years. I probably used the word accrue.
There's
That will
a
help me find it
ton
now.
of young talent in the game. And also, guys,
Here.
it's of all races right now. We have some of the best young Latin players in the game.
Ronald Acuna.
We
All right, here
have
it
a
is. Do you want-
Japanese superstar in our game right now.
Shohei Otani.
So there were 6 players that accrued over more than 4 WAR in 2019. In 2015, there were 5. That's the second most in the history of baseball, since like 1950. Then the third is 2012. Then 1964, awesome year. 2 guys named Jim. Then 2018 is 5th. Then 2016, then 2013. So like we've just had nonstop. And
Great talent.
someone's like, it's always young players. I'm like, no, we're not talking about young players. We're talking about young studs.
Stars.
Like guys that are having big seasons. So anyone's interested, in 2019, it was Acuna, Ozzy, Devers, Victor Robles, Juan Soto, and Fernando
Dude,
Tatis.
think about that. Latin players, there are, like you just named them. Those guys,
Yeah.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr., these guys are absolute stars that are going to carry your game into the next generation. And
and too good. And
get to new fans, get to younger fans. Okay, you have Mike Trout, who's arguably the best player to ever play the game of baseball right now in his prime. You're wasting that. Not to mention all the other young white guys, whoever they are. There's a ton of them. There always is because
Dude.
baseball's full of white guys. But then you have the African American players who represent a much smaller population of the game than they used to. But they're stars.
Tim Anderson won
Tim
the batting
Anderson's a
title
star.
last year, right?
Marcus Stroman is
Yeah.
a star. Jack Flaherty is a star. We can go on and
stud.
on with these guys.
Yeah.
Like I said, we have a Japanese star who
Two-way.
might be the second best player in the game.
Haven't seen it
CeCe,
since Babe Ruth.
Your guy
Haven't seen it
CeCe
since
said he's the best player in the game, maybe the best player in the history of the game. We have these players. It is global, young, global superstars, and we have owners that don't want to play baseball.
Yeah. There's a lot of good responses to the tweet, too. Like, imagine if they didn't manipulate service time. That would be even more.
We have a German superstar.
The other,
Player.
some others like Bichette, Jordan, Guerrero Jr. aren't even on this because they didn't play enough games to accrue enough WAR. Soroka on there.
Canadian.
So, I mean,
Dude.
yeah, the
The
amount of
O'Neal
young
kid from the
studs.
Cardinals is a stud. He's Canadian. I mean,
It's MLB has gotten to kind of a point that I feel like it hasn't been near in a little while. I always make this comparison with the NBA. The NBA rolls through, and you know a dude on that team. Trailblazers, Dame Lillard's coming through. Pacers, Oladipo, whoever it is, Jazz,
Dame?
Donovan Mitchell,
pretty good
Dame,
Pretty good rapper,
Dame
I'm
Dollar.
not gonna lie.
He can spit. He can spit.
Most of the time you hear athletes rapping, don't want it. Or athletes doing any music, Barry Zito, not so much for me.
Go around the
Dame?
league. I mean,
Pretty good.
Pete Alonso,
Joe
on
West?
those Mets, Austin Meadows.
Dude,
I mean, you could go team by team, and you're
it's
gonna
a joke. It's a joke.
28 out of 30 of who has like an actual star on their team. Orioles are probably out. Tigers out.
Well, they have guys coming.
After that, have you seen what Whit Merrifield does when he's right?
Runs,
He's-
hits,
yeah,
catches,
He
and
can
throws.
run.
Whit's old.
He can pass. He can.
Love Whit, but he's old.
He wants to play baseball, though, Trev.
I love
wants to
Whit.
play
Whit
big
is
time.
a ball player.
Big time.
What's his real name? Whitney?
Whatever.
Witterson.
Whitey?
Whitley.
Look,
It's Whitley?
Whitley.
I don't know.
Whitley Merrifield?
that's
Pretty good.
funny.
His
That's a funny name.
His only option was baseball.
Whitley Merrifield.
His wife's name is Jordan Michael, which is funny.
Okay.
Jordan Michael.
BBD.
I think there's a lot. I feel like I know
Michael
a few
Wiener.
different people that name them Jordan. Mike, I don't know. Whatever.
What is Whitley Merrifield? Is like a British dude from 1870.
I was gonna say it
who
sounds
has,
like an old British
fancy
TV
parties.
show. Yeah,
Yeah. Whitley Merrifield
yeah.
at your service.
But the
Kisses
point
your hand.
remains:
Yeah.
we
A lot of
have stars, and they've been and all.
Yeah.
I got to take a breath here because I'm getting mad.
Take a
now.
breath.
Teddy, come back.
I took
I
my
forgot.
sunglasses off because I was feeling better. But
What'd you forget?
I forgot.
Jake
we
forgot
have
something.
stars in the game, and forever, all we've heard is these baseball players don't want to market themselves. We can't force them to do it. Da, da, da. Dude, these guys are all over social media. They understand how that works. They were going on MLB IG doing live stuff until we were like, nah, no more of that, dude.
Did
guys
the
aren't
players
doing
put
that
an end to
anymore.
that?
I don't think it was like a player like there wasn't like a union call being like, don't do that anymore. I think guys were just like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
You know, why are we going to help them at all right now?
If
Like, this
if
is,
people want to do that, send them to JOMBOY Media Instagram.
and
Live.
they have been. They've been coming here in droves, baby.
John Boy
But like I'm
Media.
saying, they've been talking about that.
Instagram.
We need players that are marketable. There's never been a better time, a better group of more marketable players than right now. And you guys and the owners are holding them hostage.
They need more Trevor Plouffe eating ice cream in the clubhouse commercials.
I was
Thick-
not marketable. I'm
thick
not going to
Trev.
lie. Okay, I get it. I was.
I
very
love
average.
the commercial. We have it
I
on
did a
loop
good
in the
job.
office.
I did some other stuff.
Did you like our birthday song for you?
I did. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I thought Jake could have sang it a little bit more upbeat.
Well,
but,
he's tone deaf.
Started. I got
I don't.
distracted.
No,
by
that's not true because he's been excellent in his music parodies.
got
Yeah,
dis-
he's not tone deaf. He's
I
pretty good.
Got distracted by all the Joe Mauer highlights, so I ended up singing "Happy Birthday" to Joe Mauer.
I love Joe Mauer.
Love Joe Mauer. I'd let Cole
Gosh,
Tucker
I
sleep
want
with my
Joe
girlfriend.
to come on here and just air it out.
I texted
What
Cole
a-
Tucker.
And
You know, we're just good friends.
well, he wished me a birthday or happy birthday.
Did he?
yesterday.
Did he? Fuck
course he
him. Fuck
Dude,
him
of
to
course
the
he did.
moon.
He asked me my opinions on what's going to happen. I was like, "That's weird, man. You're a player. I want to ask you." And then I also sent him a song, a music video. I think he would enjoy.
we're all best buds. Except for
Jake,
BBD.
what did you forget?
Oh, I DM'd Delman Young something funny before the show. No response yet. We'll catch up on that next
He's in
episode.
Australia time.
Talking baseball.
No, he's here. He's in
He's
California.
here.
Trev, come on, just trying to help Jake out.
Come on.
He for sure saw that.
All right.
It's unread. It's unread.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. He saw the banner ad though.
Mr. Normus.
I'm playing
Look,
the exit music.
Play the
Trev,
exit
last
music.
last words. It's playing.
I love baseball, man. I just
Mm.
I hope we get it back.
Jake sucks.
Cole Tucker.